In business and in life, we often weigh our options. We think, if we do this, what will happen next? But these are not just grammar construction or grammar rules. These are tools. These are tools that allow you to express possibility, to make prediction, or to even share a hypothetical dream. This is the world of conditionals. So today, spend a few minutes with me, and I'm gonna help you understand and master using the phrases of the first and the second conditional. And you will see that the slight differences and slightly differently organized sentences will help you express your thoughts much more accurately, and your language will sound much more sophisticatedly. So let's do it together today. Let's see the reality and hypothetical dream. Welcome to English Bullet, the channel where we fire up your day with practical English and powerful motivation for your business and life. Having used English in business for over 20 years, I'm here to share what I've learned. Let's get started. So the first bullet for today is the first conditional. First conditional is a construction that talks about the possible, really possible future, really possible outcome. It tells you what's possible if something else happens. We can call it a contract. Like, if you study hard, you will pass the exam. We got two parts of the sentence. If clause, if something happens, and the main clause, something else will happen. Let's take this sentence. If I study hard, it's the condition. It has to happen, so as the other part of the sentence may follow as a consequence of the first part after the if clause. So if I study hard, I will pass the exam. Or the other way around, if I don't study hard, I will not pass the exam. It's the consequence, it's the contract. You can use it also for the sentence, if the weather is good, we can go for a walk tomorrow. So if tomorrow comes, the condition is met, the weather is good, that's the condition. If we will go for a walk. But remember here, in conditionals, never put will after if. If stays as the present simple tense, even if it concerns the future. So if, and then we have the present simple, and then we have will. So if I talk to you clearly, you will understand the English grammar better. So if, the condition, and will, the consequence. And now the second bullet, which is the second conditional. It's to talk about the situation that is either improbable or very unlikely to happen. It's very hypothetical. It's your imaginary dream. So the example of the sentence, if I won the lottery, I would travel around the world. It means that I didn't win the lottery. Maybe I didn't even buy the ticket. So I'm not traveling around the world. It didn't happen, and probably it will never happen. So we can hypothesize here and try to imagine what would happen if something else happened. Like this word game that I used to play with my brother in our teen years. If you had unlimited budget, what car would you buy? These were dreams. We're dreaming about the great cars we could buy if we just had enough money. Maybe you also played this game when you were younger. So it's hypothetical. It didn't happen and probably never happen.
If you had unlimited budget, what car would you buy?
But why do we use past simple when we talk about the present situation or probability, even if it's likely improbable, but still slight chance remains? We use past simple not to talk about the time difference, but we use to express the distance between what is right now and what may happen. We express the distance between the realities, what we imagine and what we have right now. Like, if I studied harder, I would be a scientist now. I didn't study hard enough to be a scientist. I'm not a scientist, and most probably I will never be. So it's a very hypothetical situation, a kind of a dream. And the third bullet here, the advice in what kind of life situations you can use those conditionals. So you can use first conditional perfectly to express the warning, to warn about the consequences of certain actions. For instance, if the government increases taxes, the economy will suffer. It's the result, it's the threat and the result. And the second conditional can be perfectly used to talk about the advice for imaginary better world, for the advice for the future. Like, if more people cared about the environment, cared past simple, we wouldn't have the environmental issues or a carbon footprint problem right now. We wouldn't have. So these are the perfect ways to express the situations, whether probable or less probable, whether as a warning or an advice. Try to use those step by step to master your English, and you will see that it's not only a great way to express you more accurately, but it also gives you a lot of joy to be able to use these constructions perfectly. There is this famous quote often attributed to Wayne Gretzky: "You miss 100% shots you don't take." So let's try to paraphrase this sentence using the first and the second conditional. When we use the first conditional, as we remember, we still talk about the probable future. So you may say, if you take more shots, you will score better. So if you do something right now, you will have better results. But if you use the second conditional, it means that you maybe regret it. You didn't do it before and it didn't happen. So if I took more chances before, I would score more, but I didn't. So it's a kind of expressing regret, the future that didn't happen. So the advice for you, don't live in the second conditional, talking about the past and regretting something. Live in the first one. Say, if I take more shots, I will score more. If I subscribe the English Bullet channel, I will get better in English. So be active. Believe in yourself. Take the action and express it all in the first conditional. If you liked the episode, share it with your family and friends. Subscribe to the channel. And not only you're gonna make me happy, but you're gonna also tell the algorithm that it's worth proposing to the others. We can also use the conditional sentence here. If you subscribe the channel, you will tell the algorithm that it's worth showing to the others. Thank you. Stay tuned for the next episodes.